Welcome to my page. I'm super excited to show you how I make this little pick bowl. I made this for my son so he can store all of his guitar picks. He just started learning how to play the guitar, and I wanted to encourage him to continue to learn it because, as you know, as you start something new, it can be a little bit frustrating. As any good wood hoarder does, I've collected a lot of different scraps over the years, and I got some Sippo wood recently when I was over at Highland Hardwoods filming some content for them. I go over there once a month to film, and the first thing I usually do is go take a little peek and see what they have for scraps.
For the design on this, I went wicked simple. I just printed out a picture of a pick and traced it onto the wood and cut it out on my bandsaw. Really not a lot of pre-planning going into this. I did have some ideas of how I wanted to finish it, and I actually kind of divert from that, but you'll see that as we go. On this next step you're seeing, I'm going to be tracing out a safety area for about a 1/2 inch around the edge of the bowl. So that way it leaves a lot of wood on that surrounding area to make sure I don't go too thin with the actual vessel. Now I get to use a brand new tool. This is the beautiful Arbortech Mini Carver. It has a blade dish on there. So there's actually 2 different blades that rotate and kind of really just remove the material very quickly. Now I'm new to this tool, so it's not the smoothest of removal when it comes to the inside of this vessel. So I did go in with my old trusty contour wheels from Kutzall and just smooth that all out, make it nice and uniform looking. I definitely want to try the mini carver dish again on a bigger project. I feel like this was too small of a vessel, but I did love it. And speaking of love, oh, this contour sander, beautiful. I got to try a few different new tools here, and I was wicked excited. So that is from Arbortech as well, and it was really, really neat. I got to sand down these insides of these bowls really quickly. Now, I never really thought too far along with what I was going to do with the backside of the bowls, but I did know that I wanted to remove a lot of material so that way they kind of had a heart shape where it kind of curved underneath. The next thing I noticed is that these had a lot of different cracks, so I wanted to fill that in with some CA glue. Once that was all dried, I just took one of my ball nose burrs and just gently removed all of that excess material, and you can see it's just so satisfying watching all of that CA glue disappear.
After I got this all shaped out, I was going to go ahead and go in and make different grooves and textures on the back of this piece, but then I realized I was tired and it was probably best to just go ahead and finish this project rather than continue to make this something that never ends, because I know we all have those projects we start and we never finish, and I really want to get this in his hands as soon as possible.
So now that my design is locked in, I went back to my contour sander and sanded all the way to 220, making sure this was nice and smooth before moving on to the next step. Now, I wanted to get my son involved, so you can see he's the one playing around and framing out, making sure that the design is going to laser exactly where we want it to go. And he chose a little cobra design to go on the center of this with his name. I thought it came out really cute. He did leave because, it took more than a minute and his attention span wasn't there to watch the whole thing. But I went ahead and finished it for him, adding in my logo and getting it all oiled up. Now, I did make a couple extra, as you saw, so those also needed some designs. I did leave one plain because I didn't know who I was going to give that to. And of course, I made my friend Mary Lou one because if I'm making a music-themed carving, I definitely want her to have one as well. And that third one ended up going to my husband because, very sweetly enough, he started learning how to play guitar to help my son, so that way he wouldn't give up on it because they would both be learning it together. So that's super sweet. Now I went ahead and oiled these up with some bumbleshoots. This is their wood oil, and as you can see, these things started to shine once I put that on there. And then I went ahead and finished it off with their wood wax, which is called Nuba. Super cute. Love the owners. They're really nice, and it's fun to use a product where you know the people that are involved with the company. Now, if you're a maker and that's why you're watching this video and you might want to make one of these, please stay tuned to the end. I have a new template for these and I'll show you how to use it. But look how cute. I'm so happy he has something like this that's very personal, so that way he can take that along with him throughout his life. And I'm glad my husband got one too.
So I hope you liked the finished piece. I think it came out really cute. Since I made this, I decided that it'd be really fun to add the template for the guitar pick on my website. It's got some really neat features. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to use it.
So the top is really easy. You just want to trace the exterior line, and then that inner one is going to be that safe area that I showed you that I drew on the wood. This is a no guesswork, just trace it on, cut out your template, and then flip it on over to trace on the back. So that you can see on the back, I have a little area in the middle, and that's going to help you know where to carve in your lines when you're shaping out the back. And that way you're not going to remove more material than you need to. All in all, this was a really fun and fast project, and one of those things that you can just go out to the shop and knock off a few and just be really satisfied with how it looks. So if you have any questions on this template, how to use it, please let me know. But as you can see, that safe flip goes all the way across, makes a really cool edge, and then you have that nicely shaped back. Easy to tell where to remove that material from, and it's going to really simplify the process if you do try to use this. And in case you were curious, the circle is just so you can hang it up on your wall.
1, 2, 3.
I'd like to check in. Oh my God, where did you come from?